There is a heat gathering just below the surface of your skin. Feel it now. It is not the familiar warmth of a blush, nor the aggressive fire of anger. This is an older heat, the geothermal warmth, rising from a place so deep inside you, you have forgotten it exists. It may be concentrating in your hips, a strange deep ache that feels like the memory of running. It may be coiling in your solar plexus, a churning that is not anxiety, but anticipation. For some of you, it manifests as a pressure behind the eyes, as if you were looking at the world through a thin layer of water. Do not dismiss this. Do not label it stress or fatigue. This physical sensation is a summons. It is the first evidence that a subterranean river, a current of profound and unassailable truth that has been flowing in darkness for generations, has finally begun to breach the bedrock of your life. This is not a metaphor. It is a vibrational reality. The alignment that perfects itself in the sky between April 4th and April 10th is not a distant, sterile arrangement of planetary bodies. It is an unlocking, a celestial key turning in a terrestrial lock that has been rusted shut for centuries. The last time this particular gateway opened, empires fell, not by the sword, but by the weight of their own secrets. What is happening above is creating a resonance below, a harmonic that is causing the very ground of your accepted reality to tremble and crack. And through those cracks, the water is rising. This is why you feel the heat. It is the friction of truth against a lifetime of resistance. You are here listening to these words because that friction has become undeniable. You have been walking on hollow ground, and something in you can no longer stand the echo. In the next few days, you will be asked to choose. You will either learn to swim, or you will dedicate all of your energy to frantically patching the fissures in a foundation that was designed to dissolve. This is not a test of strength. It is a test of surrender, and I am here to walk you through it, to show you where to place your feet as the old world turns to water. Let us speak of the mechanics of this moment, not in the cold language of astronomy, but in the living language of myth, which is the only tongue capable of holding a truth this large. What the stargazers of Babylon called the Chamber of the Echo is now open. This is a configuration where Mars, the principle of action, of severance, of the sacred blade, stands in perfect, tense opposition to Saturn, the keeper of time, of structure, of consequence. This is not a battle between them. It is a sacred contract. Mars agrees to cut only what is dead, and Saturn agrees to allow the foundations of the past to be broken but not erased. It promises that whatever is washed away in the coming flood will fertilize the ground of your future. They are holding the tension like two great pillars, creating a channel between them. And into this channel, Venus, the goddess of what you value, of what you love, of what you know to be beautiful and true in your own heart, is moving not as a warrior, but as a diver. She enters the deepest, most hidden waters of the celestial sphere. She is not descending to fight. She is descending to retrieve something, a pearl of great price, an artifact of your own worth that you were told was lost forever, a truth about what you need, not what you have been taught to want. This is a recovery mission into the flooded chambers of your own lineage. The old Arabic masters of astrology knew this alignment. They did not see it as a time of fortune or ruin, but as a time of reckoning with the well. Every family, every soul, they taught, has a well, a place where the tears, the secrets, the unspoken desires, and the deepest knowings of the ancestors are collected. For most of your life, you have been drinking from the surface of this well, tasting only what was recent, what was safe. But this alignment, this tension between Mars and Saturn, is a dredging. It is pulling up the silt, the mud, the lost things from the very bottom. And so the water that rises into your life is not clean. It is murky. It is filled with the ghosts of old choices, not just yours, but the choices of your mother and her mother before her. It carries the sediment of every time someone in your line swallowed their truth to keep a fragile peace. Every time they chose security over authenticity. Every time they were told their deep knowing was madness. This water carries memory. This is why the emotions that are surfacing feel so out of proportion. The sudden, gut-wrenching grief that arrives while you are washing the dishes, the flash of rage that has no immediate target, the profound, oceanic loneliness that can find you in a crowded room. This is not just your emotion. You are feeling the well. You are feeling the thaw of a frozen history, and the water is finally beginning to move. In the Vedic tradition, this would be understood as the stirring of the Naga kings, the great serpent deities who sleep at the roots of the world, guarding the treasures of the earth. They are not dragons of fire and destruction. They are beings of water and wisdom. Their sleep maintains the stability of the world, the illusion of solid ground. But when they stir, when they uncoil, the earth quakes, and the hidden rivers, the Rasatala, the underworld streams, are forced to the surface. Their stirring is not a punishment. It is a gift. It is a reminder that the greatest treasures are not what we build on the surface, but the life-giving waters that flow beneath. You have been living in a drought, celebrating the strength of your well-built, arid land. The Nagas are stirring because you are dying of thirst. They are breaking the world you know to save you from your own dehydration. They are bringing you the water of your own soul. This brings us to the very idea of a power ranking. Who rises and who gets left behind? You must understand this is the most important reversal of this entire period. The world will tell you that power is rising. It is climbing a ladder. It is acquisition, visibility, control. The world will tell you that those who succeed in this period are the ones who build higher walls, who secure their assets, who double down on their plans. This is a lie. It is the logic of the drought. The true power ranking of this time has nothing to do with rising. It has everything to do with dissolving. Who has the courage to feel the edges of their own certainty begin to blur? Who is brave enough to stand still as the water of an old buried grief laps at their ankles? Who will allow a relationship, a job, an identity that has been a fortress for them to become saturated, to soften, to lose its rigid shape? Who will be left behind are not the weak, but the rigid, not the poor, but the inflexible. The ones left behind will be those who spend these precious days of the unsealing frantically trying to prove the water isn't there. They will call it a mood. They will blame it on others. They will distract themselves with frantic activity. They will argue with the tide. To be left behind in this new current is to be left on a shore that is rapidly turning into a desert island, clutching a map of a world that no longer exists. The ones who rise, then, are the ones who go low. They are the ones who kneel down and touch the water. They are the ones who have the breathtaking courage to finally listen to the thirst they have been denying for years. They are the ones who will allow themselves to be carried for a time by a current they do not control. Power in this new world is not the ability to command. It is the ability to consent. To consent to the truth. To consent to the dissolution of what was false. To consent to the profound, terrifying, and ultimately liberating wisdom of your own depths. This is the only ranking that matters. It is not a competition against others. It is a deep and intimate negotiation with the God within you. And so, the somatic experience you are having is the map. Your body is the oracle. It is telling you exactly where the water is breaking through. Let us return to it, for it is your most trustworthy guide. That heat in your hips is the thawing of ancestral trauma around movement, around freedom. It is the accumulated memory of every woman in your line who was not allowed to run, to leave, to choose her own direction. The heat is the friction of that frozen energy beginning to liquefy. When you feel it, do not stretch it away. Stand up. Walk. Even for a moment. Pace your room. Walk around the block. Let the movement happen. You are walking for them. You are completing a journey that was interrupted generations ago. You are letting the river flow through your legs. The churning in your solar plexus, that place of will and identity, the seat of the sun in you, is the vortex created as the subterranean water meets your inner fire. It feels like confusion, like a loss of self. Who am I if I am not this person I have worked so hard to be? This is the question the vortex asks. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that a profound integration is beginning. The fire of your will is learning that it does not have to burn alone in the arid desert. It is discovering a source of deep, cool water to turn it into steam, to give it a new power, a power that is fluid, adaptable, and pervasive. When you feel this churning, place a hand on that spot. Breathe into your own palm. You are not falling apart. You are becoming a weather system. You are learning to make rain. The pressure behind your eyes, the feeling of looking at the world through water, is a sign that your sight is changing. You are beginning to see not just the surface of things, but the currents that run beneath them. You will start to hear the unspoken words in a conversation. You will feel the emotional truth behind a corporate smile. You will see the exhaustion in someone who is proclaiming their strength. This is a gift, but it will feel like a burden at first. The world will seem blurry, distorted. This is because you are developing depth perception. You are learning to see the hidden river in everyone you meet. Do not doubt what you are perceiving. Your vision is not failing. It is deepening. You are no longer looking at the world. You are beginning to see into it. This rising water has a purpose beyond sensation. It has a voice, and it is rising to carry a single, specific truth to the surface of your life. There is something you know, that you have known for a long time. It is a truth you have buried so deeply you have almost convinced yourself it isn't there. It is the truth about a relationship whose contract has expired. It is the truth about a career that is nourishing your bank account but starving your soul. It is the truth about a family dynamic that demands your silence as the price of admission. It is the truth about a deep, sacred need in you that you have labeled as selfish or impossible. This unnamed truth is what the river is for. The river did not rise to inconvenience you. It rose to meet this buried truth, to saturate the ground around it, to loosen the soil of your denial and your fear, and to float it gently, inexorably, to the surface. You have been trying to excavate this truth with the tiny shovel of your intellect, with pro and con lists, with conversations that circle the issue but never land on it. You've been trying to use logic to move a mountain. The river does not argue. It does not reason. It simply dissolves the ground beneath the mountain until the mountain has no choice but to move. This is what is happening. The arguments are over. The time for gentle persuasion has passed. A force of nature is now at work in your life, and its sole purpose is to bring what is hidden into the light. Let us speak now to the tribes, to the elemental families of the zodiac, for each of you will experience the coming of this water in your native tongue. For the earth signs, for you Taurus, you Virgo, you Capricorn, this feels like a catastrophe. Your entire existence is predicated on the reliability of the ground beneath your feet. You build, you cultivate, you establish. The ground is your partner, your ally, your God. And now it is turning to mud. You are feeling the foundations of your home, your career, your very identity begin to soften and sink. The temptation will be to frantically shore things up, to bring in more dirt, to build higher walls against the water. You must resist this. This is not a flood meant to destroy you. This is an irrigation. You have been trying to grow a new life in exhausted soil. The river has come to bring nutrients from the deep earth that you could not have reached on your own. Your task is not to fight the water. Your task is to learn the wisdom of the willow tree, whose strength comes not from resisting the river, but from having roots so deep and flexible they can hold the bank together even as the water rages. Your power in these coming days is flexibility. Let the non-essential structures wash away. Your roots will hold. What is truly yours cannot be lost in this flood. For the water signs, for you, Cancer, you, Scorpio, you, Pisces, this is not a surprise. It is a confirmation. You have been hearing the sound of this river your entire life. You have felt it in your dreams. You have tasted it in your tears. People have called you too sensitive, too emotional, too deep. What they were sensing was your proximity to this great, hidden current, and now it is here. The feeling for you is one of both terror and homecoming. The shore you have been clinging to, the persona you have adopted to appear normal in a dry world, is crumbling. The river is calling you to let go, to merge with it, to come home to your own nature. The fear is that you will lose yourself, that you will drown in the vastness of it all. But that is the great reversal for you. You cannot drown in what you are made of. Your task is to remember how to breathe underwater, to trust that this current knows where it is going. Your power is not in swimming against it, but in becoming the intelligence of the water itself. You are not a victim of the flood. You are its consciousness. You are its heart. For the fire signs, for you, Aries, you, Leo, you, Sagittarius, this water feels like a personal affront. It feels like an enemy. Your nature is to burn, to radiate, to move with speed and certainty and passion. Water, in its deep, slow, inexorable power, threatens to extinguish your flame. You will feel frustrated, slowed down, dampened. Your usual strategies of pushing through, of inspiring action, of burning away obstacles, will not work here. You cannot boil an ocean. The temptation will be to burn brighter, to become more aggressive, to fight the encroaching dampness with rage and force of will. This will only exhaust you. Your task is a sacred alchemical one. It is to learn the difference between fire and steam. The river is not here to put you out. It is inviting you to a new kind of power, a power that can hold both fire and water. The power of steam can move mountains, it can power engines, it can fill any space it enters. It is no less potent than fire, but it is infinitely more subtle. Your power is to allow the water to touch your fire, not to extinguish it, but to transform it. Surrender your frantic burning for a focused, pressurized, unstoppable expression of your will. And for the air signs, for you, Gemini, you, Libra, you, Aquarius, this feels like madness. It feels like the dissolution of reason. Your world is one of ideas, of systems, of communication, of elegant intellectual structures. This rising water is non-verbal, it is emotional, it is instinctive, it is chaotic. It does not follow your rules. It is flooding your libraries, short-circuiting your communication systems, making your beautiful theories irrelevant. You will feel confused, scattered, as if your mind can no longer hold on to a single clear thought. The temptation will be to rise above it, to detach, to analyze the flood from a safe intellectual distance, to write the definitive thesis on the phenomenology of inundation. But you cannot think your way out of this. The river is not a problem to be solved. It is a reality to be inhabited. Your task is to bring your brilliant mind down from the sky and place it in the boat of your own body. For the first time, perhaps, you are being asked to feel the truth instead of just thinking about it. Your power is to become the cartographer of this new, wet world, to use your communicative gifts not to explain the water away, but to give it a voice, to chart its currents, to help others navigate what feels to them like pure chaos. You are to become the translator between the deep and the surface. This is not a passive event. You are not meant to simply be a spectator to the flooding of your own life. You are being called into a co-creation, a sacred practice of alignment with this powerful, once-in-a-lifetime current. There is a way to work with this water, to honor it, and to ensure that what it washes away is only what is no longer true. This is a practice in 3 parts, unfolding over the next several days, a ritual of conscious surrender. On the first night, which is the night of April 4th or 5th, you will perform the act of the naming. Before you sleep, take a simple, clear glass and fill it with clean water. Hold this glass in both hands. Sit with it in silence for a few moments. Feel the stillness of the water. Now bring to mind the unnamed truth, the one the river is rising to meet. Do not analyze it, do not judge it, do not plan around it. Simply allow its essence to fill you. And then bring the glass to your lips, and so softly that it is barely a sound, whisper the truth into the water, just the core of it. This marriage is over. I cannot work here anymore. I need to be alone. I have been silent for too long. Speak the vibration of the truth from your body into the body of the water. You are entrusting your most terrifying secret to the element that has come to liberate it. Place this glass of water by your bedside as you sleep. Tonight, you and your truth will sleep beside the embassy of the great river. You are signaling your willingness to begin the conversation. On the second day, which will be April 6th or 7th, you will perform the act of the sourcing. When you wake, take the glass of water. Do not drink it. This water is not for you. It is a message. Take the glass outside. If you live in a place with no earth, a small pot of soil will do. Find a patch of bare ground. Kneel down. Pour a small amount of the water, just a few drops, onto the earth. As you do, understand what you are doing. You are connecting the charged water of your personal truth to the great subterranean ocean of planetary truth. You are acknowledging that your tiny personal river is part of this immense global unsealing. You are saying, I am not alone in this. My secret is part of a larger story. My liberation is tied to the liberation of the waters. This act is one of humility. It takes the terrifying ego story of my huge problem and situates it within a sacred geological process. You are remembering that the planet itself is your ally in this. You are plugging your small current into the main grid. On the third day, the days of April 8th or 9th, you will perform the act of the release. This is the culmination. Take the glass, which now contains the rest of the water, charged with your truth and connected to the source. You must find moving water, a river, a creek, a stream, the ocean tide going out. If you are in a city, and this is your only option, the drain of your sink or your shower, which leads back to the great water systems, will suffice. Go to this moving water. Hold the glass. Take a final moment with the truth it contains. Thank it for the ways it protected you, for the lessons its burial taught you. And then, as you pour the water into the current, speak these words aloud. What was held is now released. I give this truth to the current. I am the river. Feel the release. You are no longer the lonely keeper of a terrible secret. You have given the truth over to a power far greater than yourself, a current that knows exactly how and when to carry it into the world of form. You have done your part. You have unlocked the gate. Now you must trust the flow. And then, on April 10th, the final day of this gateway, you do the hardest thing of all. You do nothing. You practice the art of sacred stillness. After the flood, there is a silence, a deep, fertile, muddy silence. Your only task on this day is to notice the space inside you where the secret used to live. Notice the quiet. Notice the absence of the constant low-grade effort of suppression. This quiet is not an emptiness. It is the new ground. It is the fertile silt upon which your next life will be built. Do not rush to plant something in it. Simply be with the raw, clean, potent stillness. This is the reward. This is the beginning. You did not find this transmission by accident. You did not click a link out of boredom or idle curiosity. A current brought you here. The same subterranean river that is stirring in the bedrock of your soul, that is warming your skin and clouding your vision, recognized its own frequency in these words and pulled you toward them. Your presence here is the first and most powerful evidence that you are ready. That something in you has already consented to this great dissolution, even if your conscious mind is still terrified. What you are feeling is not a breakdown. It is a breakthrough. It is not instability. It is the shedding of a false stability that was crushing you. What feels like chaos is the holy, generative, and necessary disorder that precedes any true creation. You are standing on the wet earth of your own becoming. The courage this requires is immense. The courage to not know. The courage to let go. The courage to trust a force that is not your own will. Acknowledge this courage in yourself. It is the most real and valuable thing you possess right now. It is the pearl that Venus is retrieving from the depths. It is your own worth, returning to you not as a concept, but as a felt sense in your own body. There is a power in declaration, a power in bringing the resonance of an inner shift into the outer world. It creates an anchor. It makes it real. In the comments below, I invite you to perform one final act of alignment. You will not write your secret. That is between you and the water. Instead, you will write a promise, a declaration of your readiness to engage with this process. Simply write the words, "I am ready for the current." Let that be your flag, planted in the new ground. Let it be the seal upon your private ritual. Your declaration is not for me. It is an offering. It is a light you are leaving on for the person who will find this in the dead of night, weeks or months from now, when their own river begins to rise. They will scroll through the comments, feeling utterly alone, feeling like they are the only one whose world is dissolving, and they will find your words. And in your declaration, they will find permission. They will find courage. They will see that someone else has stood where they are standing and has consented to the journey. Your 5 words will be a hand reached back through time, a testament to the fact that we do not go through these great unsealings alone. We are a community of souls learning to swim in the waters of truth. I've spent many hours in stillness, listening to this current, translating its language so that the path would be clear for you when you arrived. It is a sacred trust. It is my offering to the river. If you wish to continue walking this path, to continue learning the language of these deeper currents that shape our lives from beneath, I invite you to subscribe and to press the bell so that you are notified when the next transmission is ready. We do not move by the world's clock here. We move by the turning of the tides, within and without. Go now into these powerful days. Be gentle with yourself. You are doing the work of generations. You are feeling the thaw of a history that is not only yours. Be brave. Your fear is simply the measure of how much you have to gain. And remember, above all else, to trust the water. Its destination is a sea of truth so vast and so beautiful, you cannot yet imagine it. But it is real, and it is calling you home. May you trust the water.